If I've actually gotten everything done on time, then this video went up exactly 5 years after the Kyoto Animation Arson attack. I've spent the past few months knowing that I want to make a video, but having no idea what to make it about. For anyone unfamiliar, July 18th, 2019 at 10:31 JST, an individual set Kyoto Animation Studio 1 on fire with gasoline. 36 dead, 33 more injured. Maybe the single most tragic event to happen to the anime community and a devastating incident in general. But I'm not making this video to grieve, I'm not documenting the incident or looking into the history and impacts. I'm just here to commemorate and talk about a studio close to my heart. These days, MAPPA is the studio that does everything. Before them, Madhouse had all the big names in anime, and if we want to go all the way back to the start, Toei was the first to do it. But I will stand by the fact that KyoAni is the greatest to ever do it. I think KyoAni are kind of like magicians, the way they create something out of nothing. I remember watching Hyoka because of that one scene that popped in my feed every so often. Man, it seriously never gets old. I watched it without looking too much at reviews or even the summary, to be honest, and I really liked it. But thinking back on it, what even was the story? The My Anime List summary says, Hyoka follows the 4 members of the Classics Club, names, blah blah blah, as they, driven by Jitanda's insatiable curiosity, solve the trivial yet intriguing mysteries that permeate their daily lives. If you just told me that and nothing else, it sounds like a shitty high school Scooby-Doo. And it kinda was if you think about it. The first episode's premise was, this door was locked even though I was inside. Ooh. But add that KyoAni magic and all of a sudden I'm happily watching these dorks reading old newspapers in a library. It's tired and cliche, but they really do just breathe life into every scene. Every episode they put out is always so high production and just a pleasure to watch. Another KyoAni production I absolutely adore is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This one's controversial, I know. I don't care though. Titties aside, I think the vibes were exquisite. It was just cute, feel-good fun. Except for, this. They were not cooking with that one. I did like this character though. Looking past the honkers, which I do concede is difficult to do, metaphorically and physically. I did actually fuck with her character by the end of the second season. She ends up taking care of this candy shop in the place of the owner's kid who couldn't care less. It was really sweet. And there was this one scene where some little kid goes, "Damn, you got the heavies. Why are they so big for?" That is crazy. That is definitely sexual.
They're my fire sacks. That's where I store my fire.
The fuck? And you know, for as not very tactful as the series was giving her those absolute boulders, that was actually a pretty cute scene. Kids can be really crude sometimes, and to everyone in the store, her response was just a cute, tongue-in-cheek way of managing an awkward question. But the audience knows it's because she's a tits for brain dragon. I know that's not particularly KyoAni's doing though. What is their doing, however, is how fucking incredible the animation goes, and how perfect the vibes are. I can't put into words, but everything about this production, KyoAni just made it such a perfectly cozy watch. And of course, you can't talk about KyoAni without mentioning Violet Evergarden. If you want my dumbass take, this is the single prettiest anime ever made. It looks so consistently good. There are anime movies with visuals that don't stack up to most of the scenes in this show. Some people say the show is just crybait, and maybe, but I'm still falling for it hook, line, and sinker every single time. And going back to anime movies, KyoAni also made the single best one. No, I will not be taking any input on the subject, and I will also forever be cut that it got overshadowed by Your Name. Putting their work aside for a second, another thing that I adore about KyoAni is that their employees are, treated like people. Isn't that wild? Unlike a certain Parappa the Mappa, or a lot of other studios to be honest. Actual salaries, maternity leave, hiring and promoting more women. Arguably this isn't exactly praiseworthy, but when you look at the conditions of the rest of the industry, it just puts your mind a bit more at ease. Or maybe not, to be honest, because my source for all of this is one Reddit post, and then the very next Reddit post I stumbled across told me the exact opposite, so could be talking out of my ass, who knows. Since the incident, they've still come out with a good few shows. They're not exactly back in full force, with releases being about half as frequent in the past 5 years, but I'm glad to see them still pushing. And I'm excited for any of the future productions to come. There is plenty more that I could and did want to talk about in this video, but I have poor time management skills. So call this my love letter, dedicated to the victims of the attack, to the families that were affected, to those at the studio who still continue to produce works for us, to Kyoto Animation, the greatest to ever do it. Lest we forget.